which we need to understand is what's a shared responsibility in the cloud, right? So if you look into the diagram, right, so there's a green portion at the bottom, right? That's kind of what since AWS is the infrastructure as a service provider, they are responsible for running the infrastructure and securing the infrastructure correctly, right? So that's the green part. What some good examples are like physical data centers, right? So as when you move into the cloud, right, you are not now managing the actual server boxes. You're not managing what is a physical place where you're putting the data center, who is going in and out and other things, who is touching those racks or storage things, right? Physically, that becomes the responsibility of the provider. Even running the platform services, we call them the main one, compute, network, and storage, becomes their responsibility. They are responsible for what we call tenant operations data. What it means is, yeah, if you see AWS will claim themselves as PCI compliant, right? But that PCI compliance is for handling the credit cards for consumers of their services, right? But if a consumer builds the application which handles in PCI or credit card information for their users, that's not the responsibility of the AWS, right? Similarly, so those become now if you look at the upper blue part here, right, which is the tenant responsibility. Now tenant brings in and sets up a virtual machine or a EC2 instance, right, on AWS, and how you harden it, how you protect the access control of that, what kind of encryption you're using, all those become responsibility of the tenant. Similarly, tenant will be setting up their operations user, right? We'll talk about the IAM, identity and access management. Those users become the responsibility of the tenant here, right? And then definitely any data, customer data, and the reason I made it red, all your PHI, right, will come into that scope of that, is still the responsibility of the tenant, right? So again, summarizing this chart, right, what AWS does, right? So they say, okay, we are responsible for the bottom part, which is infrastructure. Other things, tenant, you are responsible for that, right? So now, how do we translate it to a HIPAA context, right? So what AWS has done, right? So if you are running a HIPAA workload, right, which means you will be having PHI information, first thing you need to be doing is you need to be actually declaring or having a agreement between yourself, right, which you could be a covered entity, right?
For more information, click on the link below or visit databrackets.com.